The British Touring Car Championship this year has been a revolving door of drivers, some by choice, some because of the situation we all find ourselves in. But there is one team that has taken the situation by the scruff of the neck. That team is PMR. And today we are talking to Power Max Racing's newest driver, Bradley Philpot. Bradley, you find yourself here in the PMR garage. How do you feel about it?
I feel excited for what's about to come next. I'm just keen to get on with this now because it's been a few weeks coming.
So what makes you you? What makes you the face and the name that people should sit up and take stock of when Brands Hatch rolls around?
What sets me apart, or what makes me maybe slightly different, is my specialty in front-wheel drive cars in recent years. And the fact that this really does feel like the next logical step for me. We've been driving in an endurance touring car series for the last few years, but in reality, you don't drive necessarily like it's an endurance. You're still driving as fast as you can. Similar layout of car, and it's quite nice to be now coming back home to the UK to do the highest level of this kind of racing in the UK.
Awesome. Yeah, but you mentioned there that you've spent a little bit of time on the continent. Do you mind sharing a little bit of how you found yourself in that endurance and touring car variant world?
So I basically clicked like on a post that Peugeot UK posted on Facebook back in 2013. It was an invitation to come and compete in effectively a scholarship competition that was open to international C licensed drivers. So it wasn't completely out to the general public. You did have to be a licensed race driver to enter. But from that point onwards, it was a knockout contest to choose one driver from each of several countries to compete for Peugeot at the Nürburgring and the Nürburgring 24 hours in a really nice extreme hot hatch, a real race prepared version of a Peugeot 208. That led to opportunities with another team, a slightly independent team out in Germany, who invited me to race with them. And it was 2017, 18 and 19. We competed in a Peugeot 308 touring car out in the Nordschleifer's own endurance championship, which was called VLN. It's now called NLS. And we were lucky enough or good enough to come third in the first season in the championship and then win 2018 and 2019.
The upside is you're obviously used to being in and around the acronyms, so VLN, now PMR, so it kind of fits quite nicely. And on that note, I do have a couple of questions about your newfound team. So if you will indulge me, we've got 5 of these questions. You're going to be tearing it around Brands Hatch in this Astra, but what year did Voxel start manufacturing cars?
Okay, so I don't know the answer to this. But most car companies were turn of the 20th century. So Whoa. Let's go for around 1907.
Oh, so close, 1903, but I'll give you that. So competing in the BTCC, obviously Voxel have got, as a manufacturer, have got a very strong history in that competition. And they actually started in 1989. So pretty good time in the 80s. But could you hazard a guess at what the first make of Voxel was that took to the track in 1989?
Okay, so we're talking about which model Voxel
That's the
car?
one.
Okay,
yeah.
So
Give me a clue.
The ones, yeah. Okay, so I think that confirms it. The cars that I know from watching in my childhood are obviously the Vectra and Cavalier. I think a bit earlier than that, but from your little hint there, I'm going to say it's called an Astra.
That is a very good and very correct answer. So you're racing with PMR. You're racing with Power Max Racing, but when did it start, the PMR? What year did people start to see that particular team and that brand running around tracks in the UK?
So that one I think I can be a bit more confident with. It's a little bit more recent than the first two, so that is 2015.
There we go, bang on the money. What county is Brands Hatch in?
That'll be Kent.
It is. And then finally, quite a personal question really, what was it like to beat Sebastian Vettel?
Oh wow, okay. So it was unexpected. That's probably the first word that comes to mind. That was a contest called the Race of Champions Factor, which is supposed to be like the X Factor style competition for motorsport. And I suddenly found myself in the London Olympic Stadium doing what was supposed to initially just be this thing called the Skills Challenge, which is basically donuts and slalom and sliding around in an aerial atom for a time trial against a bunch of celebrities. And Sebastian Vettel was like the pro driver who came in to effectively like set the time for that. For the most part, there were people that I should really beat, and obviously I did. But the good thing about that was I also beat Sebastian Vettel in that. That weekend also gave me an opportunity to compete in the main Race of Champions and also the main Skills Challenge, which was all of the pro drivers as opposed to just having the celebrities. And in the main Skills Challenge, I beat Vettel again. Actually, unfortunately, didn't win that main one. I came third. I was behind a kind of a specialist at sliding around, Petter Solberg, who was obviously a former World Rally Champion, and Alex Buncombe, who was the driver who went on to knock me out in the main competition too.
So you find yourself taking to the track at Brands Hatch. It's the finale of what is an extraordinary season. How confident do you feel? How do you feel about getting behind the wheel, and what kind of challenges do you think you're going to face when you finally get onto the tarmac?
So at this point, obviously, as we stand here today, I haven't driven this car yet. I'm going to drive it in a couple of days' time. And throughout this whole process, the last couple of months of kind of weaving this project together, the one thing that I haven't been too worried about is the driving side, partly because I've not had that much time to worry about it, but partly because in my experience, that's always been the thing that kind of just went okay. That's always been the thing that as long as I've done the preparation for, practiced on the simulator, watched onboard videos, and put my time into preparing for, it's always had a good result. And so the things that I think will be the challenges in this respect are that obviously BTCC is the highest level of motorsport in the UK. And there's no getting away from the fact that anything else I've raced in the past, the average driver skill level is not going to be as high as it is in BTCC. These are going to be the toughest competitors I've raced against. And especially coming into the final round of the season, where everybody else is fully on top of their cars, everybody's done as much practice as they possibly could have done at this point this year. I'm coming in a little bit underprepared, you could say, especially in this particular year where I've not really done any other racing either. So that's probably the biggest challenge, but I'm actually really looking forward to it because it's just a process. I've just got to drive the car as fast as it will go, work with the engineers to make sure it's capable of going as fast as possible, and just do the job on the day.
Excellent, Bradley. Thank you very, very much for coming on Is It Fast? And of course, best of luck when you do hit the track at Brands Hatch.
Thank you very much. Can't wait.
So there we have it. Bradley is being fitted for his seat right now. The seat will go in the Astra, and the Astra is going to Brands Hatch. Best of luck to Bradley and to PMR, and thank you very much for watching Is It Fast? Remember, if you liked what you watched, like, subscribe, follow us on your social media platform of choice, and we shall see you next time.